I first decided I would like to have a music career when I was about 14. And I remember I thought I could probably get a record deal in a year. That was what I thought. It takes a year, it's pretty easy. And I thought, all they have to do is see my potential. So I'll record 3 songs. And I'll send this 3-song demo to a label. I'll send it to every label and one of them will pick me. That's what I thought in my insane mind when I was 14, and I thought that would be a great idea, but I didn't get a record deal until I was 22, so it took a lot longer, but I had big dreams. I grew up in Australia in a place called Mullumbimby, and it's a small town. The population is 3,000 now, and I grew up in a very little house that my dad built out of mud bricks by hand, and then my parents split up, like a lot of kids' parents do, when I was about 9, and I moved into the town, the big city. Then I would kind of just skate around the town and get into mischief, and I got bored of that, and I wanted to escape to America, and that was when I was 16, and then I moved to Miami and spent the rest of my years kind of wandering around America. Well, the night before I got on the plane, I think, was the scariest night for me, and I laid in bed all night long in Australia in my bedroom, and I stared at the ceiling and I thought, maybe you shouldn't do it, maybe you shouldn't do it, maybe you should just wake up in the morning and say that you don't want to go, this is crazy, what if something does happen to you? I got up that morning, early in the morning, to drive to the airport, and my mother saw me off and she cried and she said, don't let anything happen to you, please be safe. And I left July the 4th, 2006, so I got to America and I got to Miami at about 8 o'clock at night. I landed and it had just rained, and I remember there were fireworks going off in the sky, and I felt like, it just felt right. It felt like a celebration, and I had gotten there and I had made it, and I was really excited once I actually landed. Once I got to Miami, I already had a couple of $1,000s saved, and that lasted me about 6 months, and by then I had friends and new people, and I would clean for different people and get cash underhand, little jobs, and try to survive. The thought of failure was really not an option for me. I had to keep going until I couldn't go anymore, and there was a point when I thought I was going to run out of money and I would have to go home, and that was right before I put out the first song of my mixtape called Ignorant Art, and I kind of did a bit of a gamble and I made this mixtape and it ended up paying off for me. I got my Trust Your Struggle tattoo in 2010. I actually got it with another artist who's new and coming out, and you guys know him as K. Roosevelt now, and I used to record with him, Kevin, in his garage studio apartment, and I had no money, and me and him were recording one day, and I would cook him crepes in exchange for beats, and we were walking down the Star Walk, and I saw a mural and it said, trust your pain breeds strength, trust your struggle. And I felt like, I so identify with that at the moment, that's how I feel, and I felt like it was a sign to me to say you should keep doing what you're doing and you should trust the road bumps, and your dream is your dream, you should pursue it. And so we kept walking, and I said, I'm gonna get that tattooed on me right now, Roosevelt, and he was like, no, you're not, you're crazy, you're crazy. And I said, yes, I am, I'm really gonna do it. And we walked into a tattoo parlor, and I was like, do me one. And I did it, and that's the story. I'm Iggy Azalea, and I'm making my voice heard.